You went to the cash register yourself, pried it open, and stole money from the store.
Shut the frick up. If you have a problem with me, you better frickin' divorce me, you bitch.
My husband took money from the cash register of my store. That same money is what constituted the bulk of our family's living expenses. And what was worse, he was using the money to go on a holiday vacation of adultery with another woman. If you don't stop what you're doing right now, bucko, you're going to get really hurt. I warned him one last time, but he turned a deaf ear to what I said. This is the story of how my morally abusive husband demonstrated behavior that was too far over the point of no return, and how he later experienced a turn of events that created a surge of shame and regret that left him broken and bruised. My name is Kiara, and I'm a 40-year-old hairdresser. I run a beauty salon in a store on the ground floor of our 2-story house. It's a small store, and I run it by myself. My husband, Clint, is a 42-year-old office worker. We're blessed with 2 beautiful daughters. Our eldest, Molly, is in high school, and our youngest, Erin, is in middle school. I work hard to provide for our daughters, whose education will demand quite a few funds in the future. My beauty salon was creating a nice reputation for itself, and income was becoming more and more stable and satisfying. My husband, however, did not last long working one job, and changing jobs had pretty much become kind of a hobby for him. He's the second son of wealthy parents and graduated from a prestigious university. He was raised to be a responsible man with dignity, ambition, and above all, a kind heart. But unfortunately, he had a terrible habit of not listening to advice people had to offer him. After graduating from university, he quickly landed a job at a famous company, but resigned after only 6 months because apparently he had had a disagreement with his boss. After finding another job elsewhere, he resigned again because he felt he couldn't make the most of his potential. This habit of his became his curse because after that, every single time he found a new job, there was always something that didn't go well with a colleague of his. And he resigned from perhaps more than a dozen jobs. Currently, he works as a temporary administration clerk at a small construction company. Clint was very dissatisfied with his situation at the time, and taking out his frustration on his family was not an uncommon occurrence.
I'm so tired. Hey, what the hell? Kiara, we're out of beer.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go get some.
At least have some beer ready, jeez. How hard can it freaking be to have a couple of Heinekens in this bitch? Damn it. I come home from work freaking tired and disappointed, and this is the treatment I freaking get?
My husband never did any housework, but he was always good at finding fault with me with the housework.
You've been using your job as an excuse for neglecting the housework, huh?
I never mean it like that.
You think you work more than me? Your work is just something you do in between chores, ain't it? You gotta take care of me, and you've gotta take care of the house, and that's the most important thing in your life, Kiara. Remember that.
The trouble was that around that time, I was making quite a bit more money than Clint did. He's changed jobs so many times that his potential was beginning to wane away, and his career hadn't taken off, and his salary was always heartbreakingly low. That was another reason for his dissatisfaction.
You don't need to go to college to do what you do. I graduated from a prestigious university with a freaking bachelor's degree, damn it. That's why those assholes at the job market are jealous of me.
I know you've had a hard time with your job, honey. While I was dealing with my husband on that particular night, my daughters started interrupting me. Hey, Mom, is dinner ready yet? I'm hungry. It'll be ready in a minute, Erin. Hold on now. Honey, can I get your beer later? Why don't you go on ahead and get some?
What the frick? What am I supposed to drink while you're waiting for dinner then? You're the wife in this house, you frickin' get it.
Why don't you get it yourself, Dad? That's right, you're the one who's going to drink it. Go get it yourself.
How dare you talk to your father that way? Yo, Kiara, what kind of shit-ass education are you giving our kids here? It's your frickin' fault they're misbehaving right now.
I beg you, Clint, please don't yell at anyone anymore. I'll go get the beer now.
Don't freaking want one anymore. I feel like actual shit. I'm going out for a drink.
My husband's self-centered behavior seemed to get worse as he got older. As it did, his adolescent daughters began to ignore him completely. Every time he'd say something to them, which was more often than not a quick lecture with an irritated tone of voice, they'd act as though he didn't even exist.
Hey, the kids are getting so freaking cocky. Who do they think they owe their livelihood to? I hope you guys aren't talking shit about me when I'm not around, eh?
No one's talking shit about anyone, honey. They're going through puberty.
What freaking puberty? Don't you dare give me any stupid, simple bullshit to excuse that behavior. You're not a smart bitch, but my God, you sure are one that makes good excuses.
I'm not making excuses.
See that? Even that's an excuse. You literally live and breathe excuses. That's all you ever freaking do around here. I'm the one who pointed out the kid's bad attitude. Why the frick don't you correct him, huh?
We don't have to go that far to make it, all right?
You really don't want to do anything, do you? You're a lazy wife and a useless mother.
Needless to say, Clint was selfish and self-centered. But if I interrupted him in any way, he would become furious. To make matters worse, my daughters, Molly and Erin, mostly Molly though, began to blame me as if they were annoyed that I couldn't defy him. Mom, you're always at Dad's beck and call, aren't you? Don't you have any opinions of your own? Your father is going through a hard time, Molly, darling. We should take good care of him so he'll get back on his feet sometime soon. What do you mean he's having a hard time? He doesn't do anything at home but sit around drinking beer and complaining to us. That's enough of that, Molly. Adults have to work in some way in order to survive. And sometimes the work can be very draining. Dad thinks he's the only one having a hard time, and he thinks so because you don't say anything to get him to snap the heck back to reality. I'm working my hardest, Mom, so is Erin, but Dad always makes fun of us and belittles us. It's not fair. He doesn't make fun of you, Molly. He's just a little harsh. Explain this then, Mom. Dad said to me, word for word, no matter how much you study, you're half your mother's blood. You'll never get to college because you got that innate trait of stupidity. Stupidity is a nicer word, mind you. He used something far worse, starting with an R. Clint said that? But why would he? You're always talking about Dad's moods, trying to justify it, and you won't even cover for us. I've said enough. I need to walk. She said that and promptly left the room. I had no idea that Clint's abusive words had hurt my daughter so much. If this situation continued, our family would undoubtedly be emotionally torn apart. I was at my wit's end. My work has become extremely busy with the start of the new year approaching fast. That was because I had a lot of reservations for year-end party events and kimono dressings for the new year. But when times get busy, it's also time for handsome profits, am I right? I extended my business hours to meet the demands of my customers, and things were going really well for me. Meanwhile, Clint began to leave the house for work later and later in the day, and it was as though he had more free time. You've been going to work rather late these days, haven't you?
Yeah, things are pretty slow at work these days. I really don't have the need to be there early at all.
Wait, you mean to tell me you've been running late?
That's none of your freaking business. It's my job. I do what I want.
I couldn't understand the logic behind what Clint was telling me. How could he think that a temporary worker could be free to come and work at any time? I was stunned, but he went on to say,
Hey, I'm not very liquid right now, to be honest. I'd like some money.
What? Oh, sorry. Yeah, I heard you. Wait a minute. I went down to the store and pulled out some cash from the register. I went back up to hand it to him and he clicked his tongue in annoyance.
That's it?
Well, because, you asked me for money all of a sudden. And by the way, that money is spare change from the store. Are you sure you're okay with your job? You're not quitting again, are you?
What do you mean by again, Kiara? I can't keep the same job year after year like you.
The kids need money now too, Clint, especially Molly, who's doing her hardest to get into a good university. Please, just do what you can to keep your job.
What the frick? Molly ain't going to college, Kiara. She doesn't have the brains to get anywhere in life. And the hell is this freaking attitudes of yours, huh? Giving me money and acting oh so high and mighty.
I'm not acting like a big shot millionaire. I'm just asking you to please keep your job. Our family's livelihood depends on it.
If you're gonna be a big talker, give me more money and maybe I'll think about doing something for us. Where's your freaking wallet? I know you have some cash in there.
Then he took my wallet out of my bag. Clint, what are you doing? Stop it! He didn't listen to a single word and took a wad of cash out of my wallet. From the looks of it, it probably totaled at around $400.
What the hell did I tell you? There is money in here. I'm going out.
And he went straight out the front door. Clint's been drinking a lot these past few weeks, and I was getting genuinely worried about him. I was especially worried about how his behavior would affect our daughters. I mean, you just heard it yourself. He insulted his firstborn daughter by saying she was too stupid to go to school. But my work was so busy at that point that I didn't have time to think about it for even a second. I kept at my work and the housework while cutting back on my own sleep. One day, I accidentally overslept and got up in a hurry. I woke up to the smell of delicious food already coming from the kitchen. Molly and Erin were preparing their own lunches. I strode over to the sink and washed my face. Sorry, girls, looks like I overslept. No problem, Mom. Molly made us both lunch. Why, Molly, thank you. That's very thoughtful of you. I mean, of course. It's my lunch, after all. And you were up late cleaning up last night, so Every day after I close the store, I do the house chores right away, and after finishing up, I'd stay up after midnight sometimes cleaning up the store and getting everything ready for the next day. Well, I'm off then. Oh, and by the way, I made breakfast for you too. Oh, sweetheart. See you later, Mom. The girls made breakfast for me too. I ate a slightly burnt omelet with toast and a small bowl of oatmeal. I couldn't really taste it because I couldn't stop crying tears of heartfelt joy. The warmth filled me up, though, and that was more than enough to get my motor running for the day. In this manner, my daughters began to take the initiative in helping me with the housework, and I was eager to get on with my work. Christmas flew by like a breeze, and the new year was at hand. I still had to work during the holidays, so it was hard for me to take my daughters out to a day out to spend some quality mother-daughter time together. They had been helping me with housework recently, and I wanted my daughters to forget all about their responsibilities at home and have fun doing the New Year's holidays. That's when the sky granted me with a wonderful gift. I received a call from my parents-in-law, and they wanted to spend the New Year's holiday with their granddaughters. It was quickly decided that Molly and Aaron would stay over at Clint's parents' place, their grandparents, for the new year. The Gladys household was a 3-hour bullet train ride away from our city. My firstborn, Molly, being the strong, independent young lady that she is, booked the bullet train tickets by herself and told her grandparents a plan to do some things together with them. They were pretty impressed with her taking the initiative. Clint, being who he is, notwithstanding, Riley and Brock Gladys were amongst the kindest people I've ever met, and they love their granddaughters very dearly. Have a lot of fun with your grandparents, girls. Hell yeah, Mom! I'm gonna get lots of New Year's money! Now, Aaron, you be more reserved this time, okay? You don't want what happened last time to happen again, right? I don't, but no, I won't be reserved in another way, Mom. I'm gonna tell Grandpa all about what Dad's been doing to all of us. No, you're not doing that. Tell me you're joking, Aaron. I mean, I was going to tell Grandpa too, Mom. Dad's been drinking every night for the past month, Mom. We have to do something about that, for crying out loud. You're always the one who has it hard, Mom. We want to help. Molly, you listen to me. I don't want you to make Grandpa worry about what's going on in this house. I don't want you to worry about your dad, and I want you girls to go have fun. The night the girls left, I was counting the money from the store cash register. I was going to transfer the money to our living expenses account the next day. My husband came home early that evening, and for the first time in a while, he actually touched me by gently squeezing my shoulders in the way affectionate couples do to each other. He even pecked me a kiss on the cheek.
I'm home, honey. How've you been? Looks like you've been busy this month. I think we both deserve a beer. One?
What? Why, thank you. Yeah, I'd like to have a beer.
Considering how much work you've been doing, I figured that was what you wanted most right about now. How much did the store make this month?
Clint asked me all these questions about my recent life, like how much the store made this month and any news about the business. When I answered, he was unusually kind and grateful.
Well, you've done an awesome job, honey. Thanks for all your hard work.
Damn, I suppose time and effort really do be creating miracles. The next morning, I was preparing to open the store as usual. Everything was going smoothly, but when I went to open the cash register, I felt something was strange. There were pry marks on it, and when I opened the machine, all the cash inside was nowhere to be seen. My mind went blank for a long moment, and I could not believe what I was seeing. This cash register contained the coins that I needed for change and the cash that I counted the previous night, the money I was going to transfer into my bank account for living expenses. In all, that cash register contained close to $4,600 up until the night before, and now it was completely empty. I then suddenly noticed a note card taped to the bottom of the register. There, in Clint's handwriting, read the following message. I'm working during the New Year's holiday, I need money, and I'm taking this with me. See you soon. Why the hell would he need that much money for work? I called his company immediately to get some information, but right when I asked for his whereabouts, the person on the other end told me something so unexpected I nearly fell out of my chair. Your husband has been absent without leave for some time now. He hasn't shown up today either, and it's already been decided he's going to be fired, ma'am. Forgive my being so straightforward, but we've been pretty disappointed in him for some time. We hope you understand our decision regarding this matter. It turned out Clint had been skipping work for a long time. Where the hell was he? I was about to call him when I got a message from my daughter Molly. She had sent me a photograph with an impossible comment. Caught the bastard red frickin' handed. The photo was of Clint walking arm in arm with a young woman whom I didn't recognize. So what happened was that the girls were spending the day at a theme park with their grandparents, and Molly just happened to see her father there with a woman whom she didn't know. I saw it and it all made sense. Clint was spending time with a woman whom he was having an affair with instead of going to work. I guess he wanted money to play with her, so he took a huge wad of my earnings from the last month. I immediately called him.
What the hell do you want? I'm freaking busy right now.
You went to the cash register yourself, pried it open, and stole money from the store. Why the hell did you do that?
I didn't steal any money. I took it because I needed it for work.
Yeah, that's what thieves do, buddy.
Shut the frick up. If you have a problem with me, you better frickin' divorce me, you bitch.
If you don't stop what you're doing right now, bucko, you're going to get really hurt. He laughed at that warning and merely replied with a cocky tone.
You're threatening me? What the frick is the matter with you? I don't think anything's going to happen to me, bitch. You just frickin' try.
This is your last damn warning, Mr. Clint Gladys. I want you to go home right now and return the money. And you're going to apologize to me.
The frick? What the hell do you think you are? You're trying to interfere with your husband's job, is that it, huh?
I don't interfere with my husband's job. No, sir, I don't do that. But I do interfere with your affairs with other women.
You son of a bitch. What the hell do you think you're doing?
I heard Brock Gladys, my father-in-law, yelling at Clint from the other end of the phone. My husband was caught right on the spot by my in-laws. And in front of his daughter's eyes, Clint took the trained fist of his athletic father. After that, Clint was taken directly to his older brother, by order of his parents. Clint was having an affair with a woman who worked at his favorite cabaret club. He had pretended to be the heir of a wealthy family, and he even borrowed money to pay off the sleaze bag. I decided to divorce him because of his disgusting actions, and to demand alimony from both him and the woman whom he had an affair with. The woman whom he was having an affair with ran away as soon as she found out that he was unemployed and in a massive amount of debt. Clint couldn't repay the debt, so he managed to go to his parents on his knees and at their mercy for help. They agreed to help him, but only under the condition that in return, he was to be sent to train under his older brother Jack, now under the name Yohiro. Jack's wife is the daughter and heiress to a Buddhist temple, and Jack married into the family, being a big Buddhist practitioner himself. The temple was a place notorious for its rigorous training regime, and even huge YouTubers sometimes attempted to power through their program. Every single one of them said it was among the most brutal experiences of their lives. The young monks were very strict with him, as he had no lasting effect on them and could only look up on them from down below. The complete opposite of what he was used to. Molly and Aaron were shell-shocked by their father's abominable true colors, but were gradually healed by the heartfelt hospitality of their grandparents. Even after the divorce, we keep close contact with the Gladyses, and they sometimes invite us all out to trips or nice dinners. As for me, I worked so hard during the New Year's holidays that I couldn't think of anything else. Thanks to my hard work, I was interviewed by a local newspaper as the owner of a humble hair salon with a good reputation. It was featured in small articles in the New Year's issue of a beauty magazine, and things have turned up even more. My family will be changing after the new year, especially since Mr. Gladys has stirred up quite a bit of chaos. But I still intend to do my best in my work. I'm going to try to stay strong and cheerful so that my daughters won't have to worry about me after such a terrible experience.